You're listening to the Mind Behind podcast, where we'll be interviewing guests about their inner journey of building their dreams.
So if you have a dream that you want to fulfill, this is the podcast for you. Varmt välkommen till The Mind Behind podcast. Innan vi kör igång vill jag bara tipsa om en workshop som vi har nu kommande tiden. Så det är en workshop inom money mindset, alltså inom pengar, hur man kan tänka kring pengar. Och den här workshopen är perfekt om du vill växa eller starta ett bolag under 2026. Vi kommer också ha en meditationsutmaning. Vi kallar för en 7-day meditation challenge, också kring pengar. Så om du var med här så är det bara att gå till länken i våra show notes eller DM oss på Business and Dreams Instagram, så skickar vi all info. Så håll tummarna att vi ses där. Nu kör vi igång dagens avsnitt. Warm welcome to the Mind Behind podcast. I am Vendela, and with me today I have
Camilla.
And we are so happy to have you here. And before we start today's episode, I want to share about something exciting that we're doing right now. And that is that we are having a workshop within a topic that we think is so important for more women to learn about. So the topic is money mindset and how you can make 2026 your best year yet. And not only that, we're also doing a 7-day meditation challenge with the workshop. So meditation, and especially guided meditations, have been life-changing for us. And now we want you to experience the magic of it too. So when you sign up for this workshop, you will also get access to this 7-day challenge. So we will put the link to it in our show notes, and you can also just DM us on Instagram if you want the link. So with that said, Camilla, how are you?
I feel very good today.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing as well, and I love being in the studio. Actually, it gives me so much positive energy. So, and speaking with you, of course, too.
I really feel the same.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited about this workshop that we're gonna host. And especially I feel, when I'm thinking about this, so passionate about women. And we found this number that women are charging up to 40% less than men when they're self-employed. And that's kind of crazy, right? Because we have already know there's a salary gap between men and women. But when we're self-employed, we actually get to choose our own price. We actually have the power there to really make it more even, or even charge more than men. Could be possible. But still, women are held back. And I think it's really time for us to change this. I feel like I've had enough. I have enough our women being raised, because I think it's a lot due to that, being raised to have imposter syndrome, being raised to hold themselves back. And I think this really can be changed by each person really being aware of their mindset and investing into changing it.
Yeah. Oh, I get like on fire when you say this, because I'm super passionate about this too. That, it's crazy that we are charging so much less than men. So let's change this. And I'm curious there, what do you think is the reason why we are charging that much less than men?
I think it's a lot because what I talk about in my TEDx talk also, why you shouldn't be a good girl, that we are raised not to focus so much on seeing our own value, on confidence, on these type of, like in how we are raised. We are more focused when we raise women that they should be good girls, do everything right, never get a no, for instance. And when it comes to money mindset, getting a no is important, because if you only get yeses, it means that your price could probably even be higher. So what I think is important when it comes to this is that maybe some are thinking, but I can't just raise my prices, because then no one will buy from me, or then I will get so many no's, or then I will feel uncomfortable, or they think like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. But what I think many people don't realize is that your thoughts and money mindset is not invisible. I think that many people think I can just keep my current mindset, my current thoughts, and just change the price I tell customers, or just change my offers, change how I package things. But what many people don't realize is that your money mindset shows in different ways.
Yeah.
And to give some examples how it shows, it shows in your body language when you present your price. It shows in what, like, behind the lines when you write an email and you're negotiating. It shows in these details that you might think not matters, but really can be felt by the other person. And that's why I think it's so important to do it from inside out when you want to level up in your business and really go to that 2.0 level.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, about the visible part
Yeah.
of thinking it's invisible?
It's super interesting. And I thought about, like, because you really introduced me to self-help and personal development and all that. And I remember, like, a few years ago when we talked about because you shared this model that we now speak so much about, like, that your thoughts create your emotions and your emotions create your actions and actions create results. And I have always thought myself, like, you know, thoughts, aren't they like invisible in some sense? Like, it's just me that notice them. They're invisible to the world. But no, just as you're saying here with the money mindset, your thoughts ultimately become visible in every area. So I fully agree with you. And I think that many people skip this part because they think that they can just jump straight ahead to, for example, raising their prices. But it doesn't work that way, because your current mindset, if it's not at that level that you want it to be, it will be noticeable to other people. They will pick up on that, and that will ultimately, you know, create your results within money. So I think this is super important. But I think also, as you saying there, many people are having maybe this mindset that if I raise my prices, will people, you know, want to work with me then? So what would you say to those people having that kind of thought?
I think, because now I'm thinking about the mindset part here, and it is that it can be felt. So the conviction you have when you present, it can be felt by others. And you might be doing things subconsciously that you are maybe hesitating to say the price, or you're maybe apologizing a bit because you're afraid that people won't buy at that level. So you're doing things maybe subconsciously that makes you self-sabotage a little bit if you don't feel safe at that level. So if you don't feel safe at that level, I think so many people now are talking about regulating the nervous system, that if you don't feel safe, you might be scratching yourself, or you might be saying it with a different tone of voice that the other person can subconsciously pick up on also. And they might not say exactly what it was that they noticed consciously, like it was a change in your voice or in your body language or the way you were writing, but they just feel like something's a bit off here, maybe. It can happen. And in that case, what will help then is not more strategies. It doesn't help that you know that you could have a certain price, or you know you could package your services this way. Those things doesn't matter if your conviction is not there when you present the energy behind how you market yourself or how you sell. People can feel that energy. And I think that's so interesting. Like how we, for instance, have had webinars and they have been completely different results depending on the energy the intention and the energy we set before we're doing it.
It's crazy. Like the same content in a way, but completely different results because our energy has been different. But I think also we have to, because like every one of us has grown up, you know, to learn to look at money in a certain way. Like just as we learned a language, like we couldn't choose which language we were learned when we were kids. Like we just got learned Swedish or English or Spanish, whatever language was. And the same goes with money. That people in their surroundings, they taught us how to view money. And for so many people, we have had this kind of limiting beliefs around me that was kind of programmed for us. Like, you know, for example, it could be also about rich people. Like rich people are lazy or greedy, or that it's bad to charge a high amount, for example. And when you're having those beliefs in your subconscious, then you will do everything to not be, for example, a greedy person, lazy person. So you will kind of avoid money. You think it's a bad thing. So it starts with, you know, determine your relationship with money. And I think that for many people, when they think about charging a higher price, they may see that as something negative. Like, why should I take more from other people, for example? And I think that that is a big belief that is blocking many people. So let's talk about that also, why it's a good thing to increase your prices. Because, you know, first of all, when you are increasing your prices, like, first of all, you will create more of these beautiful things for yourself, because money is ultimately a tool. It is a tool for freedom, for independence, a tool so that you can choose which people you want to work with, for example. So when you are increasing your prices, you get more of those beautiful things like freedom and independence. And then you can also create a better life for those around you, both your close ones, like your loved ones, but also within your company for your employees, for example. And then also with your customers. But I think that is a big one. Like, people think that if I sell my service or product for a low price, you know, people will appreciate it more. But it's really counterintuitive here, because there's a saying, when people pay, they pay attention. So if you're getting something for free, you don't actually value it that much. And when you invest instead a high price, that's when you pay attention, and that's why you create this transformation for yourself. I mean, that was the case for us. We made a big investment in our mindset. And before that, we have taken part of so many free stuff, and that gave us inspiration maybe, but it didn't create this big change. So I think that that is really important, that you have to commit to something. So increasing your prices, that will be amazing for you, and also for the people who are buying for you, because price is ultimately a sign of quality.
I have a fun story actually about that, because it's not just for services, because maybe some might think it's only if you have a service that you can choose your prices. But I know in Erewhon, actually, you were in LA recently. In Erewhon, they sell this one strawberry for $19.
It's so crazy.
And I mean, just the price tells you this is something special. They say it's from Kyoto or something in Japan. And I heard, I don't know if it's true, but that it's sold out, because it's become like a thing on TikTok where you try this one strawberry. And I mean, sometimes just pricing yourself and showing like, this is special, this is premium, can be marketing. That can, like, just the price is the whole marketing for this strawberry.
Exactly.
And it sells out. So there's customers at every price point, at every level, and that strawberry is not for everyone, but it is for those people who are like, I want to try a really, really premium strawberry. And maybe your service or your product is on the premium level in your industry, or it's not, and that's totally fine. But just that you should know that there are customers, and it doesn't mean that you get every customer, but you can get the customer on that level where you price yourself.
Exactly. You have to have this abundance mindset, that there is customers at every price level. And when you are increasing your prices, your product or service, becomes aspirational in a sense. Like, people are wanting to work with you, and if they can't work with you today, maybe they're thinking like, in 1 year, maybe I'll be able to invest in her, you know? And also, when you are having more money, when you're earning more, you have time also, if you want to create free resources like a podcast or whatever it can be for the people who you want to have an impact on, but maybe can't afford what you're doing today. So increase your prices, everyone. It's really, really important, I think, that women charge higher.
And I had a woman come up to me at an event, and she said, oh, you're focusing so much on money, but I don't care so much about money. I care more about freedom in my time, being able to travel, for instance, being able to spend time with my family. And I just want to say that I made an Instagram post recently about this as well, that I agree with you. Real wealth is really to spend quality time with family, to maybe have freedom in your schedule if that's something you desire, or be able to just buy only organic food and really not feel limited in the type of things you can invest in your health, like going to your favorite workout classes, investing maybe in a personal trainer if you dream about that. I agree with that. But I love the analogy you told me, that money is like a hammer. It's a tool, a hammer. So how are you gonna build a house if you don't have the tool for it? So even these things, they don't require you to become a billionaire, but they require some type of financial standard in your life. And that's the tool. So why is it so scary to focus on the tool? Because I think some people say like, I don't want to focus on that, because I think there's so many thoughts that if I focus on that, I will become too obsessed, or I will stop caring about the other things. But they're just tools for the other things. So that's so important to realize, I think.
Yeah, and I've heard that a lot also, especially with businesses that are focused even more on impact, for example. Let's say, for example, you're doing something in the spiritual world or mental health world, whatever it can be, then you're afraid that if I'm setting a money goal, for example, if I'm focusing on money, then that will take away from the other parts. But truly, money is just, also proof that you are creating value, because people wouldn't just give you value, money for free. Like, you are creating value of some sort. So you can see it as a sign that you are creating a lot of value when you're increasing your revenue. And when you're increasing your revenue, you have the opportunity to create even more impact. So exactly. I think that that is a limiting belief by many women, that we don't want to be seen as money obsessed or something like that. But truly, money is a tool, and you decide how you use that tool. Like, you can create amazing things with money. You can have so much impact in the world. And I heard one woman saying to me, actually, like, it would be selfish for me to not earn a lot of money because if I'm not doing that, I can't create that impact.
Yeah.
So I mean, imagine switching it to that mindset instead.
Exactly, because I was actually starting reading the book of the Diary of the CEO, and he said that he was thinking, is it selfish for me to go and enrich myself with building businesses, or should I go back to his heritage in Africa and try to save at least one life? And then he asked a guru that, is it selfish of me to build this business and this podcast? And he said this: you can't pour from an empty cup. And that's really struck with him, that now when he's built all of this, how much impact can he make? It's huge compared to if he would try to pour from an empty cup. So I think that's a beautiful saying, both for financially, but also when it comes to like for women here, maybe balancing motherhood and business. It's the same there, that you can't pour from an empty cup. So it's not selfish for you to take time for your mindset, for instance, and allocate time for that, because that fills your cup. And then you can be a better mother as well, as a working mom, for instance.
I love that. You can't pour from an empty cup. That's really true. When you're earning more, you have even more impact that you can make. And I think also for many women that we are afraid of being seen as maybe too much, or all these kind of things. And I saw this reel on Instagram from a really successful entrepreneur within the health industry, and she made this reel like, people telling me I was being cringe, so I became even more cringe and earned even more. And people telling me that I was dating too much, so I dated even more and found my soulmate. And she was like saying that, and I think that's so good. Like, you have to kind of put yourself out there to be brave and to risk being cringe or seem too obsessed or whatever, to really create amazing things in life. So I think that is a good point also, that you have to dare to kind of be different, and also to surround yourself with women who share the same mindset. That makes it so much easier too.
Just say let them to everyone else, and we are living in the country of trying to be in the middle, and we want to really surround yourself with this inner circle of people that are not afraid to go for more. Exactly. And there's a really good book on the money mindset that I like. It's called You Are Badass at Making Money. And she shares something so interesting. And it's that if you ask someone like, do you care about money? That person, oftentimes they will answer like, yeah, money is nice, but I also care a lot about relationships and health, for example. And then the others saying like, they would never answer that to, if you asked another type of question. Like if someone would say like, do you care about your relationship? Yeah, but I also care a lot about money. Like, or do you care about pasta? Yeah, but I care about rice too. Like, it's only with money that you have to also share that you also care about other things. That's so true.
And it's so crazy, because if you say like, yeah, I love money, and just stop there, people think that, oh, don't you care about other things? But it can be true. You can love money, and you can also love making impact. You can love relationships. You can love taking care of your mental, physical health. Like they don't exclude each other. You can care about everything at the same time.
That's so funny, actually. Because if you ask like, do you care about your health? People wouldn't be like, yeah, but I also care about Yeah, I don't know.
Something else.
Maybe actually in that case, it's the only case they would say maybe I would also care about enjoying life, for instance.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only one.
Yeah, that's true. But that's because we think that there's this,
Trade-off.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You can care about everything at the same time. So.
Love that. Wow. So I think with that being said, let's wrap up this. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're so grateful that you are here joining this community and our journey forward with this podcast.
Yes, and remember that you can have it all. 2026 can be your richest, happiest, and healthiest year yet. So know that you can have it all. We women can have it all.
100%.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.